So hello everyone, this is Professor Prashant Sahatia. Today we'll learn about the Java access modifiers. So first and the foremost thing, the agenda of today's session is to understand what is access modifiers from theoretical point of view. Then we'll see few programs so that we can actually understand how the access modifiers work along with the practical concepts. And then also I'll help you to understand from real examples that from where the Java access modifiers can be used. Okay, so let us start without wasting much time. So first of all, let us read the basic definition, the standard definition. So access modifiers are used to set the accessibility or visibility. Now, say for example, we have already studied classes and objects and methods and everything in Java. So each and every thing or each and every entity, for example, class, the object, the methods, does have their visibility thing. So visibility is like from where that particular class can be accessed, whether it has the permission to be accessed from different classes or not, from different packages or not. So that is nothing but the accessibility. So we have different four types of access modifiers. We'll later on study deep into it. So to whom you can give the visibility? To the classes, interfaces, variables, methods, and constructors and data members as well. So probably we'll be doing it for classes, objects, and the methods. These three things are the most important things from access modifier point of view. So let us understand one normal example. So class is a keyword for creating a class. Animal is a class name. I have two different methods, method 1 and method 2. The void is return type and public is the access modifier for method 1 and private is the access modifier for method 2. So what does it mean? So method 1, that is a public, it means it can be accessed by other classes. Say for example, I have in class 1, I have the another class name is class 2. So if I want to access the method of class 1 into the class 2, I should be creating the class 1 methods public. Then and only then I'll be able to use it into the class 2. That is what accessibility means. Then we have the private. From the word private itself, we can understand it cannot be accessed by the other class. That means it is a private class. So public and private are the keyword for creating an access modifiers. Let us go and understand the four different types of access modifiers. The first is default. Now, what do you mean by default? Default is when you don't mention any kind of access modifier. Say, for example, I'll open the notepad, right? So you are just creating class animal, and into it we have one method name as message. So here I am not mentioning any access modifier, any keyword for creating the method of the class, right? So that will be considered as a default. Now default works means declarations are visible only within the package, that is the private package. Now what do you mean by package? So I'll take it in another example. We are understanding right now encapsulation. That is one of the OOPS concept of object-oriented programming languages. Encapsulation. So from where does that encapsulation word came from? It is from capsule. So capsule has different drug particle combined into a single package. So here in the same way in the Java we have different methods, different classes combined together in a single package. So here I'll be also showing you what that package means. So here I'm creating a package. You can create a package with the keyword package. There's a package name. This is a class which is default because it is not mentioning any kind of access modifier. Then we have one message, which is also a default thing because public private is not mentioned and it is printing this is a message. So this is what default access modifier is. Then we have the second one that is private. I'll also show an example of that. So declarations are visible within the class itself, only the class. So for example, if this is a private method, this method that is message can only be accessed before line number 5. That is, we are saying in a technical terms, it is a scope of that class, right? So that is what private means. Protected has two different things. One, it can be accessed within the package or all the subclasses. Now subclasses is an entirely a different topic. It comes under the another OOPS concept, that is inheritance, the child class and the parent class concept. So if it is the subclass, then it can be accessed or it can be accessed within the package. That is what protected means. And then we have public. Public can be accessed from anywhere, throughout any packages, throughout any classes. Default I made you understand. Let us go with the private from a practical point of view. I have one class data, in which we have a name variable. You can call it a field as well. It has a private access modifier. So particularly this name will not be accessed after this particular bracket, the curly brackets, because it is a scope of that class. And now I'm trying to access, you can see d dot name. D is an object of class data. I'm trying to access that name from the main class, that is entirely a different class. So I cannot do that. So name has a private access in data. That is what private access modifier means. Now, if you want to do that, we are not continuing with this right now because it's an entire new topic. If you want to do that, let's say, sir, I want to access a private member from a different class. What I can do? In the previous example, it was not possible, but still it's possible with the help of getter and setter methods. Now, what is getter and setter methods? We'll continue with the later concepts. Then will we sing the protected. Now you see there is a class name as an animal. We have one method display which is saying I am an animal, and the method is display. So this display method can be accessed by dog class. Why? Because either it should be a same package. Now package we don't know it's the same or not, but yes, the second option is correct, which is it can be accessed from the subclasses. The dog is a subclass of animal. Why? Because we have written extends. Extends is a keyword to implement the inheritance concept. So here I'm extending animal, dog class I'm creating, and into dog I'm accessing the display method, and that display is protected. So it can be accessed because it has a subclass. That is what protected is. And public, everything is public. You can see public class animal, and animal is a class which is public. We have one leg count variable, and we have one display method which both are public. So basically I can access leg count and display from the main class, from the another class, because it was public, right? So this was about your 4 access modifiers. I'll put it into one figure and I'll make you summarize the whole access modifier. It's a protected can be accessed by the child class within the same package, or child class by a different package, but you can also say the subclass. Private, we know it cannot be accessed from any other class. Public can be accessed from anywhere. Default can only be accessed from within the package itself. That is what the access modifier is. Now where we are using it, so I'll make you understand that as well. As I told you, access modifiers are mainly used in encapsulation. So if you want to understand from practical point of view, I'll tell you that as well. So in the further classes, what we are going to do is we are going to, let's say, create an Java application. So few classes, when we will write the code, few classes will be public. So if anyone is, let's say, attacking on that particular code, those public classes can be accessed by the attacker, right? Attacker is nothing but the debug or the debugger who is debugging the code, right? And if the classes are private, I'll be not able to debug that thing, or I'll not be able to access that particular class whose accessibility is kept as a private. So that is what encapsulation is. Encapsulation is binding the data into a single package. Here, binding the different methods, different classes into a single package. So it can help us to control what part of a program can access the member of a class. As I told you, you are creating, let's say, a class which is storing the data of a credit card. So that particular class has to be private, has to be created private, so that no one is able to access that easily, so that the misuse of data can be prevented. So that's all about your access modifiers, and it also covered the encapsulation. The key takeaways from the session will be there are 4 different types of access modifiers: protected, public, private, and the default one. Most of the web applications and mobile applications are using public and protected. The default is not used much, and the private is also not used much. Private is used sometimes, not most of the times, but yes, most of the times it is either public or protected. So I hope you understood the access modifiers, and it is very much clear that it is used for the encapsulation portion, which is one of the oops feature in Java. So thank you so much for listening to the session.